Okay. Good afternoon. We are live here on the Ripple Effect with Dave and Erica. And Erica has actually just jumped up for a second. So we're going to just get started here in less than a minute. Oh, there she is. Speak. Um,
Hello, how you doing?
good. We just went live. So I just
Okay,
we are in the Ripple Effect here.
right
Um,
on. Let's
with
ripple effect this thing.
I like how you do the thing like we're going into a different dimension, but I
You
can't do it
know?
quite as well as you. Um,
Yeah, well, I really appreciate your graphics that you play with, David, for the ripple effect. So,
yeah, I have some cool new effects which I am going to be rolling out here. So keep an eye out for
neato.
that.
I need to know those
Yeah.
cool effects. I'm working on my course and I'm doing very simple video editing on so anyway, we'll talk, we'll chat.
Yeah. Video is about energy. So, I have a lot of great energy stuff. But yeah, well,
Good.
how about I today on the ripple effect, we're going to keep it a little we'll be done by one or a little bit before, and we're going to talk about some of your events that you have coming up. You have a couple great events coming up, and then I was
Yes,
going to have you
sir.
put me through the ringer a little bit with my new program because I introduced it at our BNI, but we haven't really talked about it. So I'm interested to get your insights and have you be
Yeah.
kind of a key power partner and collaborator on it as well.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I mean, it's a little bit of a rainy, gray day, but it's so great to be able to create with you all sorts of goodness, and it's a great way to be in the world, is making stuff happen.
Yeah, it's a nice change. We take a little break from all the sunshine we get out here in the Bay Area.
I know it's usually another freaking day in California. So yeah, do you want to have me just start, or do you want to ask me a particular question?
Yeah, well, first tell me about this defrag summit that you have coming up. That's tomorrow. I
It's
pulled up the flyer here on my phone.
Oh yeah, it's called it's a this is with the Gather community. You've been visited with the Gather community out of Santa Cruz, but it's all over on Zoom. And so I'm giving a longer talk tomorrow that will be like communication exercises. The name of my talk is part of a course I'm creating. So tomorrow's talk is called Post-Pandemic Defrag. Let's dive in together. And one of my favorite tools is about clear, direct communication that I've gotten from my Gestalt therapy training. And it's really fun to kind of clear off the cobwebs and be able to talk, direct talk with the people you care about and love. And why not? Why not brush off and do that in community? And you're also welcome to bring your your loved one, your partner to the party. And it's very low cost to attend this thing tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And we're not turning anyone away for lack of funds. So reach out to me or the organizer, Tracy Root of Gather, and she can help with that. So it's a kickoff. Tomorrow's talk is a kickoff for my online course with support over the next couple of months. So this whole idea of post-pandemic defrag or defragglement, that I have this idea of 6 pillars for holistic approaches to wellness in chaotic times. So that's the subtitle.
Right, I
And
love it.
yeah,
And we
so I
will
get,
put the link in the chat, and
yes, yes,
I'll
let's do that.
yeah,
And
I have the flyer up too. If you go to the link, will it have the flyer? I'll have a little bit more about the event in it.
absolutely, absolutely. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's from 4 to 5:30 tomorrow, Pacific time, 7 to 8:30 if you're on the East Coast, and you can do the math if you're anywhere else. But you're all welcome and invited, and all included.
Okay, great. And
Yeah,
now you have another event, a caregiver summit that we are just talking about briefly. Could you tell me about that event and what
sure.
who that's for and what you're going over?
Yeah, so my colleague, Kat Mitchell, she's a coach. I'd love to have her on the Ripple Effect, or, that would be a great future guest. So Kat Mitchell is someone who is a coach to caregivers. She herself is going through a caregiving process for family members. And so she has been coaching and supporting people going through caring for loved ones, whether they're terminal illness or different abilities. And then she teaches mindfulness. And so she let me know about this upcoming summit. Many of the people are out of Colorado, and then many are from all over. So there's 27 speakers. I'm one of 27 speakers, and we all had a recording of like our super tips. So I talked about trauma and supporting decreased trauma for caregivers. So that was what I talked about. Because one of the things, I don't know if you know this about me, David, is that I have a lot of training and experience with working with trauma from a perspective of this one kind of way of doing therapy, which I call Hakomi, or which is called Hakomi. And so it's a particular lens of how to work with trauma by lots of resourcing and grounding and mindfulness. And so it's really beautiful work. And I mean, if you're not paying attention, then you're probably not experiencing trauma. But if you're paying attention and you're experiencing the chaos of these times for whatever reason, whether it's because you're dealing with illness or you're dealing with political strife or you're in a war, I mean, or
Yeah, I
you're
hear you. I saw that
experiencing.
your colleague Kyla has actually been dealing with some a bit of trauma in her life. Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. So I don't even know what you're talking about,
yeah.
but let's all
Well,
give some hearts
she's
and love to Miss Kyla.
yeah, yeah, we'll have to check in with her. And I didn't
Yeah.
know that you're a skilled therapist. I feel like you do so many things about understanding and supporting people. And I just um, all these intangibles that you bring, you're not, really I see it as mental, physical health.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
I think of holistic approaches to wellness. Holistic with a WH is how I was trained from way back in Vermont. And, holistic approaches to how we do this thing called wellness, healing, health. So there's the mind, there's the body, the physical, there's the spirits, heart, spirit,
That's the one that
spiritual,
I was trying to remember, spiritual health too, because I think
spiritual.
when people, say you're struggling with, wanting to get in better shape and, be healthier, a lot of people don't realize that so much of that is really a spiritual condition in a lot of ways, and also mental health too. So I think
Yeah,
those are such benefits that you bring. And, we'll have to look at that for another summit maybe that we do.
yeah.
There's an
I would
idea
love
right
to.
there, maybe for early next year. Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to. So I mean, this is the bulk of my work as a psychotherapist, is working with that meaning making machine mind of ours and making sense of things or making up meaning that works for people. So that's what this is about. And I'm excited to be building this online course where people can come and experience the first section before they dive into the rest of the process. So it's super affordable, and I'd love for everyone to come in and be part of this. And then also you get to ask me lots of questions about the different parts and modules, and get support and accountability. So it's exciting, David. You have started, what have you created with all of these fun podcasts, interview podcasts we've been doing? So I mean, I'm excited about all that I'm creating. And thanks to the work I've done with you, remember those little videos we made outside by my vertical gardens? Like that was the beginning of all this stuff. So I just want to give you thanks and kudos and props, and, have people come talk to you because you're birthing something amazing too. So you ready to turn the attention on you, my friend?
Yeah, yeah, I will. You're welcome to put me through the ringer on that. But I did want to just make an offer to you. When you do have that course up, you're welcome to present some highlights and things on the
Yeah.
ripple effect, because I find that it's so great to present things for public consumption that's really kind of free value we're providing to the world, that is going to in turn lead some people to maybe get the full enchilada, so to speak, or the
Yeah,
full
the full
course.
enchilada.
Otherwise, you put out that course and it really helps attract other things into your life that are great. And for example, I'm presenting this rising star on quantum leap, in a series of episodes, and I'll actually bring up the slide here. I realize that I need to put together some more kind of viewer friendly slides. This is way too dense for a presentation. And I am
Yeah,
working on a speech to maybe chambers of commerce or commonwealth clubs on really presenting on this program in a large part. And it's called Rising Star, and it's a 6-month professional coaching program. Feel free to jump in here anyway, but
sure.
it's based on really what helped make me successful and kind of get me out of a dark and unproductive place by really finding your purpose and setting up a daily practice that works for you. And it's a business program, but say you're in the nonprofit sector, or maybe you're a musician, or maybe you're going into acting or whatever it is. It's really a success program for whatever it may be that you want to do. And it's 11 modules, and it's based around key content that you got to know, principles and content that you really have to master. For example, the law of attraction, or how to find your purpose. So it's a process, and it'll really change your life like it did mine going through this material. And I've just learned so much since I've been dealing with this content that I wanted to give that back. And we're actually going to be going through a lot of this content on Quantum Leap. But to really get the magic to happen for you, you need those individual the coaching sessions, because there's something that's called the terror barrier that crops up, that when you begin to make change in your life, and I'm sure you've seen this, maybe people in recovery, or maybe starting a new business, or with trauma, that if you don't have somebody there to guide you through those rough patches, I just find a lot of people get stuck. I don't know if you've seen people get stuck and stay stuck without a coach or a therapist. But
Yeah, I do. I do. I do. I see people get stuck, and it's really up to the person to do the work. And when one is coaching or providing therapy, there's that old expression, you can leave a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So there's a lot of, you know, figuring out, naming the system. And they do this in the therapy protocol I love. It's called jumping out of the system, jutes, jump out of the system. Practicing naming things is like a great tool trick we use. So
yeah, exactly. It is really creating a whole new system of thought and communication and belief and feeling for yourself. And when you start to do that, you really hit this barrier where we're so used to our habits. So how do you mentioned trauma. Some people essentially go back into trauma in some respects when they how to break out of these patterns that we set. And you've heard me talk about this concept in our BNI quantum leap. This is what really I actually started working on when I first joined BNI, about what's a quantum leap. And I really see that you went through a quantum leap in your business and belief and all the expansion of things. And that this is kind of a marketing term that I
mm,
gravitated towards early on. But for example, what would a quantum leap for your business be in 5 years? And that would be something that this program would help generate. And officially or unofficially, I can go through this content with you as we talk in various settings. But
can I
you know
just point out something,
yeah,
my dear?
sure.
These questions that you put up here are so juicy, like, vision, purpose, goals, values, practice, image, plan, terror barrier. So I'm like, terror barrier, no, terror barrier, attitude, be the one. I mean, all of this is, there's crossover. Mental health it's all a part of this, like getting out of your own way to fly, you know? This is great stuff,
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. For example, daily practice, I think, is one of the most critical things. And I don't know if you've seen that as a
Mhm.
therapist, but this one thing I really admire about you, your daily practice, all the healthy stuff that you have built into your life in terms of the yoga and the working out and the healthy meals and the self-care. And you have this just beautiful daily practice. We all get thrown off by certain events, but if you don't have that structure in your life, and say maybe you quit your job, or maybe you got fired from your job, who knows, if you're just sitting at home, it's easy to lose hope, and this is really about restoring hope and getting back on the right track, and based on a
Yeah.
lot of the tools that I use. So I consider this kind of pieces to the puzzle, that when you learn all these pieces and how they work, and you start utilizing them with maybe some hand holding or some support, that you can really put this whole puzzle together, which will change your life, and really get you back onto choosing the pursuing the goals that you want in your life. So yeah.
Yeah, what you just said makes me think of a song that was written by, of all people, Carole King and Jerry Goffin, called Giant Step, or Take a Giant Step. And the
Okay.
lyric is something like, don't sit there in your lonely room looking back inside at gloom. It's time you learn to live again and love at last. Come with me, leave your yesterdays behind, and take a giant step outside your mind.
Well,
Anyway.
beautiful.
Taj Mahal made that song famous, but I just love that song. I love the lyrics. And it's like, it's like a medicine prayer for taking your step. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. What were you going to say about coaching sessions here?
Yeah, no, that this is just kind of a summary of the coaching sessions, because each one of these modules has like content that I've developed on it in terms of like what this is and how to get started. And then I have like kind of a little program that I run you through about actually how to set your purpose. And I work with you on that. And then you have it's done through coaching sessions and then individual work. So each month you have really two coaching sessions, or sometimes one, to go through this content. And again, this is something I went through with the business coach Pradna, who this program's different. It's based on all the things that I've pulled together. Um, but it's a similar process in that it's to kind of what worked for me, working with her, working with Corey. And there's really, it's kind of how do you distill down everything that I think that's what one thing that we get torn in so many different directions, that there's so many self-help books out there, but really there's only like a limited number of key principles that you have to kind of follow and get to the bottom of. So it's meant to really defrag, so to speak, or declutter and just simplify. Hey, if you know these basic things and you master these things, you will succeed, really. So
Keep it simple. I love that. Defrag, I can talk to you about, what I mean about that. I'll talk about it tomorrow, but you get the idea. Keep it simple. Keep
yeah,
it.
yeah, and we'll have to revisit some of these topics. Maybe we can do another follow-up session on defrag, and as I get um my kind of public speech together, I can give a kind of a short version here
Yes,
or have a discussion. So I actually do have a
absolutely.
new program that I'm working on, which I'll wait, is going to be released. Um, it'll be out by January, but so we can talk more about that too.
Do you have a fun, snappy title?
Um, I don't want to give it out yet,
Okay,
but
okay. You're shy. You're
yeah,
shy.
yeah,
Okay, okay. You don't have to say. But everybody wants to hear what it is you're doing and to rally. It sounds really exciting, David. So
well,
so
thank
good
you.
for you.
Yeah, well, I guess we're gonna wrap up here in a couple minutes. I know you got to get ready. I actually got to run out too. So
Okay.
we do have a guest next week on the Ripple Effect. We'll be here through early December, and then we're taking a break for the holidays. But I look forward to hearing more about your events next week, how it happened.
Yeah,
More
yeah, it'll
about,
be fun. It'll be fun to share about all that I've gleaned from the other presenters. And I mean, I have a very interesting story about my caregiving experiences personally. Before I became the therapist that I became, I was a massage therapist in training as I was doing my caregiving work. And so anyway, that's a long story, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of days, David, and connecting more always. And good luck to you with your program. It sounds really juicy and exciting, and only the best for you.
thanks so much. And for today, Dave and Erica signing off with the Ripple Effect. Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.